Welcome to Just Tom Talk. Today at Ducati in Nottingham. You're going to kindly lend me a bike for the weekend. So without any further ado, let's get inside. Let's go and see what I'm going to be riding. Okay, so having just been in, apparently I'm on this for the weekend, and I've got to say, it is really nice. Ducatis are quality. The attention to detail on them is phenomenal. The little things just like down here, you can see just the engine blocks are well detailed. Again, on the cylinder heads, everything about it is absolute quality. So I'm really looking forward to spending a weekend with the Scrambler NightShift. I've had to stop. I thought something might have been falling off, hanging off of the bike. Everybody's staring at city centre. It was really odd feeling, but the reality is I'm on a super cool bike. Even if you're not a bike fan, it's proper tidy, super sexy in fact. So yeah, that's why not to do that anything's hanging off. I have to say, initial impressions are really good. Seating position's nice, it's comfortable. The way the handlebars lay on this, nice and flat. Controls are nice and easy to see, and what I will show you is the way the rev counter works, anti-clockwise. I like that, it's doing things a little bit different. But yeah, wing mirrors, really good. They work well, nice, effective. Clutch is nice and smooth. That gearbox is, it's really good. You buy a Ducati, you know you're getting quality, and you pay your money, you expect it. As is becoming custom now on Just Tom Talk, just arrived at John's, 6'2", 17.5 stone. We've just gone out on the Ducati Scrambler, probably be better off on the Ducati sled, but we'll get his verdict when he comes back. Proper looks like Donkey Kong on it, but it does sound nice. I've seen other people doing this. They say, can you subscribe in the middle of the video? So click subscribe. Okay, here he is. Let's see what his verdict is. Definitely looks like Donkey Kong. Steady. I don't know really, it's like, yeah, steady. Yeah, especially when you put it into it.
Like you said, it's a cruiser, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I thought low down it seems like it's not got much to it, but then when you get above 6,000, I think it starts rocking then.
Makes a nice note.
It seems quite steady and boring, low speeds, but when you give it some, it excites it a bit, but I don't think it's, you like you said, you wouldn't buy it to, it's not a thrill-seeker bike, is it? Yeah, like when you sit on it, you think, yeah, this is light, and you know, I want to be able to chuck this around a bit, but when you're actually on it, you don't really feel like doing that.
No.
You know what I mean? You just feel like just riding it.
Yeah, you can just cruise. I think
it's a cruiser, mate. Yeah.
I think on that, you're taking a lot more when you was out riding than you would do on another bike.
Yeah. You're not trying to gun past everybody or get silly on it.
It's nice. Yeah. It's a nice piece.
Yeah, it's dead nice. Yeah.
I mean, like the clutch is dead nice and smooth.
Yeah.
The brakes work really well, and that gearbox is spot on, isn't it?
Dead easy. Yeah, the brakes are good. Got a mint view out of them. You see loads out of them, and they don't look stupid on it either.
No, they suit it, don't
they?
Yeah,
they do. Yeah.
You can see there. Look how much light it's showing off. But from the back of it, looking smart, and the indicators as well. So you've got your temperature gauge, you've got your range, your mileage, trip 1 and 2, and your total mileage. That's pretty much it really. You can go into the settings, but it affects very little. Nice clear gear indicator on the side there, tells you you've got a side stand down. What I do like is that you've got automatic lights. You can turn that button on and off if you wish. I like how the rev counter goes the opposite direction. Nice little touch, that. First of all, I want to talk about the style of this bike. As you can see, It's cafe racer sort of style, and it's going to be more for the ride out at the weekend, the ride out in the evening, over to the coffee shop. It's about having the open faced helmet on, the brown gloves, and the cool look that comes with having a bike like this. But the style bits about this bike in particular, it's got beautifully spoked wheels, which is something that is particular to the NightShift model. Got straightened flat handlebars as opposed to the risers, which is on the standard models, with these beautifully manufactured end mirrors, which are actually really effective, and they give a real good visibility. Further down the bike then, you can see it's got the sort of the number plate area where you can put your own number onto the side of it, but the rest of it is pretty much the same as any other Scrambler that's out there on the market. This comes with different indicators, which are really quite nice and bright. Further down the bike, it's got a different seat than the other models, which again is all relative to the NightShift model. So let's talk a little bit about the technology that's on this bike then, and what makes it such an expensive piece of kit. Fitted with Brembo brakes, single-sided brake disc, but it's really effective. It's got lots of feel to it. You really can feel the bike. So again, that's where a little bit of the money is going into. It's going into the Brembos. The forks work really well. There's lots of dampening on it, and it sits really well on the road. When you brake, they don't dive under heavy braking, and it feels really stable on the road. At the front of the bike, we've got this halogen LED light that is super bright, along with these small LED indicators which are super bright as well. Despite the fact of them not being particularly big, they really are effective. We've got an hydraulic clutch, and that is super smooth, really nice. It is adjustable as well, along with the front brake. That's also adjustable on the lever. Nice, clear, easy to read display, which makes it simple for riding around on. You can clearly see the speed you're doing. There's a fuel gauge on there. Good piece of kit, exactly what you want. Nice sleek tank, and the suspension then at the rear is adjustable with the old-fashioned lever if you're going to be going 2 up. But it's a good piece of kit. It's a simple bike, but it's still got technology on it. So it's got twin level ABS on it, so it's got different levels of lean on it. It's going to be working effectively whilst you're cornering as well. It's a nice piece of kit. So let's talk a little bit then about the ride. As I spoke of earlier, the handlebars are nice and flat, which means the riding position I find at 5'8" is really quite comfortable. What I did find odd initially, and you can probably see it here, is the way that you fall into the tank, which is a little bit odd if you're not used to it. But having done nearly 200 miles on this bike, it's sort of becoming second nature now that you sort of sit up quite tight next to it. Also, the advantage of that is if you've got a pillion on the back, you've got plenty of space. But the riding position's really nice. Your feet tend to fall quite flat on the pegs, and the knees are quite well tucked in. Obviously it's got no screen on the front, so you take the whole brunt of it. You can feel it pushing against your chest. But the engine, 803cc like we spoke about, it comes from the Ducati Monster 796, 797 that's been out there for years. So it's got plenty of punch in it, but it seems to be down low. This by no means is this a bike to go out screaming about on. If that is what you're thinking of going to get a Ducati Scrambler for, you're probably looking in the wrong market. So what's this bike like to live with? In the 2 or 3 days I've had it, I must admit I've really enjoyed it. I'm 100% honest, when I first got it I was asking the wrong questions of it. I was asking it to be dynamic, and I was asking it to be quick, and it was the wrong questions to be asking it. So I reset, went out this morning, spent a couple hours riding around the Peak Districts in Derbyshire, and I just settled into it, sitting at 40s, 50 mile an hour, taking in all the scenery, and this bike just clicked. Something just clicked with me, and it was all about the ride. And as a result of it, it's been an absolutely fantastic morning. I can take in all the scenery around me, but more so, it's an enjoyable place to be. The gearbox is lovely and smooth, the brakes are really progressive, visibility is good, along with the visibility that's on the display in front of you. The tank range, I put about 12 quid in it this morning, nearly filled the tank up, so I guess it's got about a 12-14 litre tank. Go and look at Motorcycle News, that'll tell you the exact numbers for that. I'm one of these people that if it needs fuel, you put fuel in it. When it doesn't need fuel, that's a bonus. And it's supposed to weigh 189 kilos. Now, with it being so small, it feels really light, so it's nice and easy to maneuver. This has got different tyres on than the standard version has. Having spoke to the guys at Ducati, they said they changed the tyres out. As a result of it, it handles really well. Along with these straight handlebars, it gives it that real precision when you're moving around. But it's a great bike. It's absolutely fantastic. It's going to cost you about £10,000. There's cheaper models out there, but this is Cafe Racer. It's retro, it's cool, it's all the things you want from a bike of this sort of nature. It's not there for going down the road scraping pegs. It's all about looking cool. It's about wearing the brown jacket, it's about the brown gloves, the open face helmet, about going out on the Sunday for a ride around with the lads, with the girls, and just taking it easy. It's about going out to the cafe in the afternoon and just enjoying being on a really nice bike. It's going to be reliable. As we know now, Ducati are owned by Audi, so they have very few problems, and it's going to retain its value as well. Yes, they cost a few quid, but you know what? It's really noticeable where that money is being spent. It's the details in Ducatis, along with BMWs, along with Triumphs, where you can see where the money is going. So the machining that goes into it, for example, that's down on the engine block, it's just the details on top of the indicators where it says Scrambler. You know where your money's going. This has got a different level of quality, and for me, it's a fantastic piece of kit. It's enjoyable to ride and it's easy to recommend. If you're wanting something that's Cafe Racer cool, this is the bike for it. Pop into Ducati, pop into Ducati Nottingham, for example. This is their demonstrator, so you can go and ride this one. So I'd just like to give a quick shout out to Ducati Nottingham. Thank you very much for allowing me to use this over the weekend. It's been an absolute joy. If you don't know where they are, check them out. I've put a What 3 Words location here. It's on the page somewhere, but you can see where they are. Pop in, see Curtis, see Mark, go and see the guys in there. They're absolutely brilliant. They've got time for everybody, but I've really enjoyed my time with this. Would I buy one? Not really, not for me. It's not my style, but that's not to say that in 10 years time it wouldn't be. It's cool, it's super cool, and if I could have it as another bike in the garage, without a shadow of a doubt, this would be in there. But it might be the right bike for you. Really enjoyed it. Thanks very much for joining me. That's been a blast. Thanks to the guys at Ducati. If you wanted to pop in there, drop in, go and see them. I'm sure they'll be happy to let you ride it. If you've not subscribed, make sure you do so. If you give it a like, that's great. If you give it a dislike, boo-hoo. So what? It all helps. And if you want to ask any questions, please do so. I'll try and get them answered. Thanks very much for joining me. Stay safe, ride safely, drive safely. Catch you later.